My friends, what is the crack? Which means how's it going in Ireland? But I'm messaging you from London, where I fundraise for Tanzania Rising, which is my baby, my charity that my Tanzanian brother and I started. We support young girls in rural poverty through school, college and university. I am one of you guys. We're on the GSL Fest and I consider myself a global social leader too. So I'm with you guys. It just means we're trying to do what we can for the world, doesn't it? And I care about you guys and what you're up to. So I want you to know the key to success in anything you do, in any idea, in any project, in any charity, in any business, in any relationship, in anything, and that is devotion. Devotion, and that means something to everyone, but for me it means doing something every single day towards your aim. Whether that's 10 minutes replying to people on social media, whether that's 1 hour speaking to other organizations to network, to work together, whether that's several hours doing research on how to address the needs of the people you're trying to help, whether that's a whole week spent at protests for anti-racism, or whether that's a phone call to organize an event to fundraise, whatever it is, if you're able to do one thing every day, if you're willing, then you're going to be successful. If you're not willing to spend at least one little part of every day on your project, then you're on the wrong thing, you're not passionate enough. So if you are willing, you will spend one part of every day to do something, because this gains momentum, but also it really unlocks the path for success to what you're trying to do. So I promise you, please do it. And if you can't, then do something you can do it for. And I promise you'll be happy and you will have success in your goal. And I wanted to invite you to, or tell you a second bit of advice. This is something that is incredible to not spend any money but still get lots of people engaged in what you're trying to do, involved in what you're trying to do, and that is the daisy chain. What is a daisy chain? It's one of those flower bracelets that you make by adding a flower to another flower to another flower, and eventually have a bracelet. But what we did last year was we used it to fundraise to get lots of people engaged so they would fundraise for us. And how we did that was, we start with a group of people. We started with 25, but you can start with 5. Say you have 5 people involved, okay? 5 people engaged in your project. Could be the 5 key members. There you go. 5 beautiful circles. And each person, all they have to do is get 1 more other person involved in your project. So they go, hey, to all their friends, hey, look, we've got this thing. We are going to start a recycling scheme in our community, or we're going to start campaigning for human rights. Would you like to get involved with us? And they find 1 person in their friendship group who goes, yeah, that sounds cool. And they get involved. And what happens there? Each person gets 1. You have 10. And then they do the exact same thing. But before they do that, it's important that they feel welcome. So each new person that joins is welcomed by the group. Maybe that's 1 person speaking to them saying, hey, thank you so much for getting involved. It's really cool to have you. Tell me about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? You become mates, you become friends. And then you say, hey, could you get 1 person involved in this? Because this is important and we're trying to do something big. So you ask them to get a friend. They then go away, they speak to their friends, and you keep encouraging them, you go, hey, have you got someone? Hey, did anyone find interest? And if it all goes well, boom, you've gone from 5 to 15, just from 1 person. 200%, you've gone forward. And this can go on and on and on and on. And what do you need to make this happen? You need 3 things. First thing is a video or a photograph, something that can easily be sent to other people. So to show what you're doing or why they should care. They might watch an emotional video and they're like, oh, that looks amazing. Or it could just be a simple poster, a photograph that you can send to friends. If you can't make anything, you can just do it through word of mouth and speak to people and get them engaged. Number 2, a registration form. So we did a fundraiser, which was a hike, and a hike is a long walk. We did a 100-kilometer walk over 2 days to fundraise for our girls' education charity. And we had a website where they could register, and when they registered on Wix, they could book a phone call using an app, which was a phone call booker. Book a phone call with me, I'd go, hey, how's it going, welcome. I would get them motivated and I would ask them to get another person. They would use the video and photographs to get the next person, and once they found a friend, they would add them to the WhatsApp group. So there would be several WhatsApp groups for each chain, and the WhatsApp group acts as an easy way to make a group and add to the group. This is WeChat in China, or it might be different in different places, but it's just an instant messenger which is useful to communicate with groups. If you can't use WhatsApp, if you're not allowed, you can just do it through engaging as normal with people. You don't have to use a phone. So there are the 3 main things. We started with 25 people. We then, only 10 people actually commenced it and did it properly. Out of those 10 people, some teams went up to 14, 15 people. Some teams went to 3. But we ended up with 150 signups for our fundraising event. And in the end, 83 people walked it. So that just shows you some of the human realities. If you start with 10 people, not all 10 are going to do it perfectly. You have to kind of predict that maybe 60% do it properly, maybe even less. And when you have events, people will always drop out. So remember that. There'll always be a large dropout rate. If you prepare yourself for that, you won't be disappointed. So get more, so you have a comfortable dropout rate. So that's a good thing. Daisy chain, fantastic way. Do you know how much it costs? £0. £0, $0, 0 yen, 0 whatever currency you have. Because you don't spend any money in ads, you just go through people engaging. And if you have the passion and your cause is real, then people will get involved. So use this, and I wish you guys, my brothers and sisters all around the world, good luck with all your projects. Please keep us engaged. TZ_rising on Instagram. You can contact us if you want any support, or please share what you're doing or what you're passionate about with us, because we really care, and together we can make a difference, but only if we are devoted. So good luck, peace.
Hello, my name is Tushar Menon. I live in London and have worked in the advertising industry for about 9 years now as a creative and art director. Today, I'm going to talk you through how to design simple but effective social media posts for the incredible projects that you have started. As your projects grow, you might need to raise awareness in a community and let people know what you're doing and why it's important. Or you might need support from friends, family, and the community, like volunteers or donations. While posters are useful if you want to reach a small group of people in a small area, creating posts on social media platforms like WhatsApp or Instagram could help you reach a much larger audience around the world in an instant. There are a few things that go into designing an effective social media post. The key visual. That's a picture. This could be a photo you've taken of you and your friends working on the project. It could be an illustration you've made that describes your project, or some free stock photography you found online. You want this to be attention-grabbing, but you always want it to make sense. The headline. That's the first thing someone would read on the post. You want this to be short but memorable. think about the one thing you want to say about your project. The call to action. Now this is important. After someone sees your post, what do you want them to do? Donate? Spread the word? Sign up as a volunteer? This doesn't have to be clever, but it has to be clear. And finally, the body copy. This is a longer description that gives the viewer a little more detail on your project. On Instagram, for example, this would be the copy that sits below your post. Now that we have those 4 elements, we have everything we need for a post. So how do you design a post like this? Normally, I would use software like Adobe Photoshop, but unfortunately, that demands a little more time and money. So, for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to use Google Slides and show you how to design a post like the one you've just seen. Google Slides is a free web-based presentation program. It isn't really meant to be used the way I'm about to, but it's a clever little hack for those of you watching. On your web browser, head to slides.google.com. Sign in with your Google account or register if you don't have one already. Pause this video while you do that, and we'll get started again as soon as you're ready. Open a new blank presentation and rename it 1200 by 1500. The default size of the document is in the ratio of 16 by 9. Social posts tend to appear in a few different sizes. The most common are 1 by 1 or a square, 4 by 5, which is pretty common on an Instagram feed, and 9 by 16, which is the dimension of a story. We're going to change the dimension of this document to fit the 4 by 5 ratio. So head to File, Page Setup, and open the first drop-down menu and choose Custom. Open the second drop-down menu and choose Pixels. In the first field, type in 1200. In the second, type in 1500 and hit Apply. This should change the document size. Great. I'm going to delete the 2 text boxes that are on the document, just so we have a clean slate. Now, remember our 4 parts. First off, we need to add a visual. I found this on unsplash.com. It's a great resource for free stock photography. Once you paste the image in, you might need to adjust it so it fits the stage. To do this, double-click on the image or use the crop tool in the toolbar. Next, we add a text box. Click on the text box icon and then click on the stage, like so. Type in your headline. Now you can change the font, the size, and the color. I'm happy with that. And then place it on the stage. The top left is normally a good place to align it to. And now for the call to action. Add another text box to the stage, type in your call to action, these tend to be smaller in size, so I'm going to change the font size a little. Change the color, and place it on the stage. These tend to be towards the bottom of the image. I'm happy with that. Now, head to File, Download, JPEG, and that should save the slide as an image. And you're done. Now say we wanted to use the same artwork and create an Instagram story. Open up a new blank document, rename it 900 by 1600. We're going to go through the same process of resizing the document first. This time, we change the sizes to 900 and 1600. I'm going to delete the 2 text boxes. And here comes the easy bit. Go back to your original document. Select all the elements by clicking and dragging across the stage. Click Edit and Copy. Head to your new document and click Edit and Paste. Now you just need to readjust the position of a couple of the elements and you're done. Now follow the same steps to save the document as a JPEG. I've done the same for a square format. You can also use the same process to create banners for your Facebook page or display pictures for your profile. And now I have a complete social media toolkit. Remember, if you ever want to update the artwork or change the copy, you can always use the same Google Slides document. Change the copy and visual and you are good to go. Here's a quick summary of the process I've just walked you through. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and I hope, in some small way, it helps you achieve the goals you've set for each of your projects. Thanks for watching.